Hi there, this is Lori with Co-Creating Impact and it's TimeSunshine.com here with our good friend Joe Deb. Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Lori. Good to be here with you. I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about your story and what tools and resources you've used in times of stress in your life.
Sure, happy to. So my name is Joe Deb. I am a mostly watercolor artist. I am a transplant thriver. I received a liver transplant from a deceased donor about 3.5 years ago. And as cliche as it is, but cliches come from truth, right? It transformed my life in many ways. You know, it's like a giant pause and reset on your life. It's like a reset button, and I'm living a new life. I come from a prior to transplant, very high stress world, corporate America, financial services, lots and lots of money, really kind of a stressful environment. And I knew after my transplant that I wasn't going to go back to that. I hadn't quite figured out what I was going to do. I was still dealing with some medical challenges, not my liver. My liver's doing great, but some medical challenges that kind of came about after that I'm dealing with that are great. No worries. But I hadn't really gotten there. I hadn't really figured it all out. And then the pandemic hit. And so as being someone who is post organ transplant, you are immunosuppressed. That's how they let your body keep the organ. So you're vulnerable in a pandemic. And so I ended up being pretty much trapped inside my home for about a year. So I've gone out a little bit here and there, very, very rarely in the past year. But I'm happy to say I'm fully vaccinated right now and venturing back out into the world a little bit. But while I was trapped in my home, I started painting. And I had always had this creative side to me, but I wasn't really embracing it. It wasn't something that was, I grew up in a family of professionals, and not that they would have ever told me I couldn't be an artist. Nobody ever would have said that to me, but it just wasn't something that came up. It never would have. But I've always enjoyed making things, creating things. And so once I started painting during lockdown for me, it was like an explosion. Like I just kept painting and painting and painting and was loving it. I describe it as I put a pair of glasses on and the world came into focus for me. It was like I had figured out my place and what I was supposed to be doing. That being said, what am I supposed to do with it? You know, I didn't go to art school. I was not trained as an artist. I was figuring this out from my heart and on my own. And so I knew I did want to do something with it, but it's kind of, you know, I started giving my friends gifts here and there. And even that was vulnerable for me. Giving my friend a gift, like, who do I think I am? Thinking that they would want to have something that I painted. Like, come on, what do you think, you're an artist? And so that was really, you know, challenging to get over that feeling that, you know, who do you think you are? Kind of like that imposter syndrome thing. I coincidentally stumbled upon a woman who is a mentor to artists who are seeking to make a business out of their art. And something happened, and she just clicked with me. I love her personality. She resonates with me. I love her spirit. And I jumped in, and she has guided me since I started with her, and I've developed this little business. But, you know, you talk about social media and how vulnerable social media can be, and it was very vulnerable for me. But social media had to be part of my foray into a business with my art. I had to put my art out there, or else how was anyone going to see it? You know, I wasn't going to have a brick and mortar store, especially during a pandemic. So I had to let go of that. I had to kind of dig deep inside myself and figure out what was most important to me. Was it important for me to have my friends and family say, "Oh, you're so great," or was it important for me to live this thing that was becoming a dream for me and put myself out there? And I had to get over that anxiety and that feeling of that vulnerableness of putting my art out there. And I'm so glad I did. It's going great, but it is vulnerable. I'm not going to lie. And the world of social media is so great in many ways, but it can be so negative in so many ways. And so I was afraid, but I have embraced it and have found a lot of positive people. And my mentor, I call her the gentle butt kicker. She pushed me and said, you have to do it, and people will find you. Your people will find you. What you create is beautiful, and it will resonate with people, and they'll find you. There is a way. They're going to find you. You found a place for yourself, and they'll find you back. So, that for me has been very transformative in this time of difficulty, I have to say.
Yeah, and how do you get through your anxiety or fears? What tools have you used that you found that helps?
Yeah, so I started meditating while I was waiting for a liver. You go through kind of a honeymoon phase right after you receive your organ, where you think, oh, the world is fabulous, rainbows and moonbeams and everything's perfect. But it's hard coming back from being so ill. And so I really dug in and began meditating again. I was in this transformative time in my life, and there were a lot of questions about what I was going to do. And I find that the meditation was very helpful for me in so many ways. I have rituals that I do when I come into my studio. I find music to be meditative. I find lighting a candle that has a nice scent that I like to be meditative. I also surround myself with pretty things. I'm the type of girly girl that likes pink, and I like sparkles, and I like flowers, and which translates into my art. If anybody is to look at my art, you'll see that. But I've embraced that girly side of me, whereas I think that sometimes it's seen as a weakness, but I'm actually embracing it as a strength, in that it gives me power to just be who I am. I'm girly, and I like pink, and I like sparkles, and I like to wear lipstick. And if I'm going to wear lipstick in my studio by myself, I'm going to wear lipstick in my studio by myself. It makes me feel good.
Here's some feedback. What are the 2 daily self-care essentials that you do daily?
So daily would be music, and daily would be candles. So I do those no matter what, every single day. Okay. I also take a lot of baths.
Nice. Now, you mentioned you were in the corporate world. What part of the corporate world were you in? Can you talk a little bit about that? How stressful?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So I was in life insurance. I'm not going to say who I worked for, but I worked for a large life insurance company, and I worked in their variable life insurance department, which has ties to the stock market, and people buy their insurance vehicles. This is probably too boring, but they buy these insurance quote unquote vehicles that are tied to the stock market and to values. And so it's pretty stressful when people see their money go away.
Yeah.
And I was a manager in there, so I had to listen to people that were sad about losing their money, and it was hard.
And with your transplant, what one thing that really resonated with you as far as being so sick and then coming out of it, feeling healthy, and what type of, did you have some spiritual growth with that type of experience?
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably cry if I get into this, but that's okay. Um, I, as a stressed out person from before, I actually don't technically get stressed out the same way as before. So I think that that is pretty much an awakening for me. I'm a lot more don't sweat the small stuff kind of person now. I think that you almost have no choice to think that way. I take what happened to me so seriously. The fact that someone chose to be an organ donor and a family reaffirmed that when their loved one was passing away, they said, yes, that our loved one wants to be an organ donor and we wish that you do this. And that is what saved my life. Like, it will never leave me, ever. It's always inside me. I think of my donor's family all the time. I think of my donor all the time. And I take it seriously that, okay, so now I have this choice. Am I going to be unhappy or am I going to be happy? Am I going to honor the gift I received, or am I not? And pretty much I chose the honoring. I feel it's my duty and obligation to this gift. And it might sound trite, like I feel almost trite by saying it, but it is genuinely how I feel. It's genuine in my soul. I feel honored by this, and I feel obligated to live the life I'm living.
And it's almost, oh, that feedback. It's almost like I would feel I have this day every day, like, wow, here I am. Thank you, God, for another day. And thank you for this family. And thank you for the donor. And thank you for making that decision. And, I thank God every day before I even open my eyes, like, thanks for another day, let's do this. So I can only imagine being a recipient of, I can't say the word, of an organ, how much deeper you might feel that.
It's so true. That, not to be confused with the fact that I have bad days.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can be grumpy, but it's rare. I don't want to make it sound like, the world is great every minute of every day,
Right.
but I do my very best to make it that way.
And we work out.
And yes, I honor it, and I do my very best to make the best of what I have.
Yeah, and it shows. And to be able to go on and do your hard work and find your solitude and your happiness within something that's completely different than what you've ever experienced before. That's so beautiful to me. I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed about it.
Mm-hmm. Joe Deb.
And I'm giving back. I want to say I'm giving back.
Okay.
If we still have a minute,
Oh, yeah.
I am a court-appointed special advocate for abused and neglected children. And what that means is when a child's parents have been charged, I shouldn't say accused, that's not the right word, charged with abuse or neglect, the parents have attorneys, the state has attorneys, and the kids have no representation that's afforded to them by law. And so I am a volunteer, and I volunteer my time to get to know the kids. I talk to their teachers, their counselors, their foster parents, their parents, anybody that's involved in the kiddo's life. And I gather up all the information, and I go to court and I speak on what's best for the kids. And I am so thankful that I get to do it. My kiddos are amazing, and these kids didn't ask for anything that's been given to them, and they're very, very vulnerable people. And so as a former vulnerable person myself, I feel very, passionate about trying to help them. And it's a great thing. If anybody of your listeners ever wants to reach out to me about their community's program for CASA, I would be more than happy to speak about it.
I love it. That's beautiful. Joe Deb, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Lori, for having me. I really appreciate being here.
Thank you. Bye.